a city untouched by war, where every street looks like a movie set. 1,000 years of history, and almost none of it destroyed. While most European capitals were rebuilt from rubble, Prague survived both world wars virtually intact. Gothic spires, Baroque palaces, Art Nouveau facades, and Cubist buildings found nowhere else on Earth, all standing exactly where they were built. This is a city where you can drink the world's best beer for $2.50, ride a century-old tram network for pennies, and walk across a 600-year-old bridge at sunrise with no one else around. Over 8 million tourists visit Prague every year, making it the 5th most visited city in Europe. But most of them never leave Old Town Square. This guide takes you beyond the crowds, into the neighborhoods, the food, and the secrets that make Prague one of the most extraordinary cities on the planet. Prague sits at the geographic heart of Europe, closer to Munich than Munich is to Berlin. The Czech capital straddles the Vltava River across 7 hills, with a skyline of over 500 spires that earned it the nickname City of 100 Spires. The reality is closer to 1,000. The city was founded in the 9th century and became the seat of the Holy Roman Empire under Charles IV in the 1300s. That's when Prague got its most famous landmarks: Charles Bridge, St. Vitus Cathedral, and the oldest university in Central Europe. What makes Prague architecturally unique is what did not happen. The city was never significantly bombed in World War II. While Warsaw was 85% destroyed and Dresden was flattened, Prague's historic core survived almost completely intact. That means you're walking through original Gothic, Renaissance, and Baroque buildings, not reconstructions. The Czech Republic joined the EU in 2004 and the Schengen zone in 2007, but kept its own currency, the Czech koruna. At roughly 23 CZK to $1, prices are 30 to 40% lower than Western Europe. The country ranks 11th on the Global Peace Index, one of the safest nations in the world. English is widely spoken in central Prague, though less so outside the tourist areas. Quick tip: Czechs do not consider themselves Eastern European. They're Central European, and they'll correct you. Prague is actually further west than Vienna. Prague has one of the best public transport systems in Europe, and one of the cheapest. The network combines 3 metro lines, 34 tram routes including 9 night trams, and over 100 bus routes, all on a single ticket system. A 30-minute ticket costs 30 CZK, about $1.30. A 90-minute ticket is 40 CZK, $1.75. And a monthly pass is just 550 CZK, roughly $24. That's less than a single-day pass in London. The metro runs from 5 a.m. to midnight, with trains every 2 to 3 minutes during peak hours. But the real star is the tram network. Prague's trams have been running since 1875, and the system is one of the most extensive in the world, 142 kilometers, that's 88 miles, of track. Night trams run every 30 minutes from midnight to 5 a.m., connecting all major areas. Tram 22 is the most famous tourist route. It passes Prague Castle, Mala Strana, and the National Theatre. Getting from Václav Havel Airport to the city center takes about 45 minutes by bus plus metro. Bus 119 runs to Nadratsy Veleslaven metro station every 5 minutes. The total cost is $140 CZK ticket. A taxi or Bolt ride costs about $25 to $30. Quick tip: skip the taxis at the airport arrivals hall. They're notorious for overcharging tourists. Use Bolt or Lyft instead. Same ride, half the price, and the fare is locked in before you get in. Old Town Square is where Prague hits you for the first time. The astronomical clock, built in 1410, is the oldest working astronomical clock in the world. Every hour, mechanical apostles parade through its windows while crowds gather below. But here's the thing: the best time to see it is at 8 a.m., before the tour groups arrive. The square itself is surrounded by Gothic churches, pastel Baroque buildings, and the twin spires of the Church of Our Lady Before Tin. Just off the square, the Jewish quarter, Josefov, contains 6 synagogues and the Old Jewish Cemetery. where 12,000 tombstones are packed into a space the size of a city block. The graves are stacked 12 layers deep. It's one of the most haunting places in Europe. Walking south from Old Town Square, you cross into New Town, which, despite the name, dates back to 1348. Wenceslas Square is the commercial backbone, 750 meters, that's 2,460 feet long, lined with shops, hotels, and the imposing National Museum at the top. The square has been the site of Czech history's most dramatic moments, from the 1968 Soviet invasion to the 1989 Velvet Revolution that ended communism without a single shot fired. The Dancing House, designed by Frank Gehry, sits on the Vltava riverbank. Its deconstructivist curves earned it the nickname Fred and Ginger. Prague Castle is not just a castle. It's a fortress complex the size of a small town. At 70,000 square meters, that's 753,000 square feet, Guinness lists it as the largest ancient castle complex in the world. It's been the seat of Czech rulers for over 1,000 years, and the current president still works here. Inside the complex, St. Vitus Cathedral dominates the skyline. Construction started in 1344 and took 600 years to complete. The stained glass windows, including one designed by Alphonse Mucha, are among the finest in Europe. The cathedral's south tower offers the best panoramic view in Prague from 96.5 meters, that's 317 feet. Golden Lane, a row of tiny, colorful houses built into the castle walls, was once home to castle guards and goldsmiths. Franz Kafka lived in house number 22 in 1917. Today the houses contain small exhibits on medieval life. The old royal palace contains the Vladislav Hall, a vast Gothic space where medieval knights held jousting tournaments. On horseback, inside the building, the hall was designed with a special rider's staircase wide enough for horses. Castle entry grounds are free, but the interior circuit tickets cost 250 CZK, about $11, for the short circuit, or 350 CZK, $15, for the full circuit. The changing of the guard happens every hour, with the full ceremonial version at noon. Quick tip: enter the castle from the back via Pohorelek tram stop, not from the front via the old castle steps. You skip the crowds entirely and walk downhill through the complex instead of uphill. Charles Bridge is Prague's most iconic landmark, a 516-meter, that's 1,693 foot, stone bridge lined with 30 Baroque statues, connecting Old Town to Mala Strana. It was built in 1357 by Charles IV, and the foundation stone was laid at exactly 5:31 a.m. on July 9th. The king's astrologers calculated it as the most auspicious moment. The bridge is spectacular at any time, but sunrise is the magic hour. By 9 a.m., it's shoulder to shoulder with tourists. At 5:30 a.m., you might have it almost to yourself, with the castle lit up behind you and mist rising off the Vltava. Mala Strana, the lesser town, sits below Prague Castle and is the most perfectly preserved Baroque quarter in Europe. Every building on Narodova Street is a registered landmark. The Church of St. Nicholas is considered the finest Baroque church north of the Alps. Its dome and bell tower dominate the neighborhood's skyline. The Lenin Wall started as a single graffiti portrait of John Lennon after his assassination in 1980. Today it's a constantly evolving canvas of peace messages, song lyrics, and street art. The communist regime kept painting over it, and people kept painting it back. Petrin Hill rises behind Mala Strana, a forested park with a 63.5-meter, that's 208 foot, observation tower that's a miniature copy of the Eiffel Tower. Built in 1891, the funicular railway takes you to the top in 3 minutes. Prague has neighborhoods with wildly different personalities, and the best ones are the ones tourists never see. Vinohrady is the most popular expat neighborhood. Tree-lined streets, independent cafes, Art Nouveau apartment buildings, and a 10-minute tram ride to Old Town. It feels like a quieter, leafier version of Montmartre. Rent here runs $1,200 to $1,500 a month for a furnished one-bedroom. Zizkov sits next to Vinohrady, but has a completely different energy, gritty, alternative, and home to the highest density of pubs per capita of any neighborhood in the world. The massive Zizkov television tower, with crawling baby sculptures by David Cerny on its exterior, is either the ugliest or coolest building in Prague, depending on who you ask. Karlin was devastated by floods in 2002 and rebuilt from scratch. It's now Prague's tech and startup hub with converted warehouses, co-working spaces, and some of the city's best restaurants. Holsovis is the up-and-coming creative district, galleries, the DOX Contemporary Art Center, and a riverside industrial vibe. Smichev is the gateway to the southern hills and home to one of Prague's best beer gardens at Strahov Monastery. And Letna Park offers the best free viewpoint in the city, a panoramic terrace over the Vltava, where locals gather at sunset with takeaway beers. Quick tip, if you want to live like a local, skip the center entirely. Vinohrady and Karlin give you everything Prague has to offer, minus the tourist markup. A meal that costs $25 in Old Town costs $12 in Vinohrady. Czech Republic is the undisputed beer capital of the world. Czechs drink more beer per capita than any other country, 184 liters per person per year. Brewing here dates back to 993 AD, and the city of Pilsen, 90 minutes from Prague, literally invented the Pilsner style in 1842. A half-liter of fresh Czech lager at a neighborhood pub costs 55 to 75 CZK, $2.40 to $3.25. At a supermarket, it's under $1.25. Beer is genuinely cheaper than bottled water in many places. The food scene goes far beyond the stereotypical heavy meat dishes. Svikova, marinated beef sirloin with creamy root vegetable sauce, cranberries, and bread dumplings, is the national dish. It's comfort food perfection for about $10. Vepernedlo zelo, roast pork with dumplings and sauerkraut, is the classic pub meal. Tridelnik, the chimney cake you see everywhere, is actually more of a tourist invention than a Czech tradition. Real Czech street food is klobasa, grilled sausages served with mustard and bread for $4 to $6. For fine dining, Prague has quietly become one of Europe's best food cities. La Degustation Bohème Bourgeoise holds a Michelin star and reinvents Czech classics with modern techniques. Field and Alcron also carry stars. A tasting menu at a Michelin-starred restaurant runs $80 to $120, roughly half of what you'd pay in Paris or London. Quick tip, the best Svikova in Prague is not at a fancy restaurant. It's at local Bluha, a modern Czech beer hall that serves traditional food with perfectly tapped Pilsner Urquell. Get there before noon or expect a wait. Prague has been a cultural powerhouse for centuries. Mozart premiered Don Giovanni here in 1787 at the Estates Theatre, and the original stage still operates today. Dvorak, Smetana, and Kafka all called Prague home. The city has over 40 theaters, dozens of galleries, and a classical music scene that rivals Vienna at a fraction of the price. Orchestra tickets at the Rudolfinum start at $10. The National Gallery collection spans 7 buildings across the city, with works from medieval altarpieces to contemporary Czech art. The Mucha Museum celebrates Alphonse Mucha, the Art Nouveau master whose style defined an entire era of design. Nightlife in Prague is dense and diverse. The historic center has over 3,500 bars and pubs, more per capita than almost any city in Europe. Hemingway Bar is one of the world's best cocktail bars, hidden on a quiet Mala Strana street. Cross Club in Holsovis is a multi-level industrial art space and techno club built entirely from recycled machinery. Chapeau Rouge, near Old Town, is the backpacker classic. 3 floors, cheap drinks, open until 6 a.m. Jazz Dock, built directly over the Vltava River, is one of the best jazz venues on the continent. And Strahov Monastery Brewery, operating since 1628, serves craft beer with a panoramic view of the entire city. Prague's central location makes it the perfect base for exploring Bohemia. Kutna Hora, 1 hour by train, is home to the Sedlec ossuary, where a 14th-century bone church is decorated with the skeletons of 40,000 to 70,000 people. Chandeliers made of bones, a coat of arms made of bones, garlands of skulls. It's macabre and mesmerizing. The town also has the stunning Cathedral of St. Barbara, a Gothic masterpiece that rivals Notre Dame. Český Krumlov, 3 hours south, is a UNESCO World Heritage town wrapped around a bend in the Vltava River. Its 13th-century castle is the second largest in the Czech Republic, and the old town's winding streets feel like stepping into a medieval painting. In summer, you can raft the Vltava right through the town center. Karlston Castle, just 40 minutes from Prague by train, was built by Charles IV in 1348 to house the crown jewels of the Holy Roman Empire. It sits dramatically on a hilltop above the Berounka Valley. The Bohemian Switzerland National Park, 2 hours north, features the Pravčica Gate, the largest natural sandstone arch in Europe. The park's gorges and forested canyons were filming locations for the Chronicles of Narnia. Prague is one of the best value destinations in Europe, but the tourist center will try to convince you otherwise. Here's what a day actually costs. A budget traveler staying in hostels, eating at local restaurants, and using public transport can get by on $50 to $70 a day. A mid-range traveler in a 3-star hotel with sit-down meals and a few attractions spends $100 to $150 a day. And luxury, boutique hotel, Michelin dining, private tours, runs $250 to $400 a day. Accommodation ranges from $20 a night in a hostel dorm to $80 for a mid-range hotel to $200 and up for 5-star properties. A beer at a local pub is $2.50 to $3.25, but the same beer on Old Town Square costs $7 to $9. That's the Prague tax. Tourist zone prices are 2 to 3 times higher than neighborhood prices. Visa rules for Prague are straightforward. As part of the Schengen area, US, UK, Canadian, and Australian passport holders get 90 days visa-free within any 180-day period. No pre-registration, no visa application, just show up. The Czech Republic does not use the euro. You'll need Czech koruna. Exchange currency at banks or ATMs only, never at the exchange booths in tourist areas. They advertise 0% commission, but hide a 15 to 20% spread in the exchange rate. Quick tip: the biggest scam in Prague is the currency exchange booths. Always use a bank ATM and always decline the conversion option. Choose to be charged in CZK, not your home currency. The ATM rate saves you 10 to 15%. Prague is a city that rewards curiosity. The further you walk from Old Town Square, the better it gets. If you found this guide helpful, hit subscribe and turn on notifications so you don't miss our next deep dive. Drop a comment below. Have you been to Prague, or is it on your list? And which neighborhood sounds most like your vibe? The cafe culture of Vinohrady, the pub crawl energy of Žižkov, or the creative edge of Holsovis? We'll see you in the next one.